Hi everyone, you're joining us today behind the beam with Europa Gymnastics, where I'm joined by Emma and Chris Sheriff. Thank you very much for joining us today at your beautiful location as well. What a fantastic space you both have. We're going to be having a chat today about Europa and where you started, some learnings that you've had as you've gone on your pretty epic journey to bring yourselves to today. So let me fire off first of all, Emma. Can you take us back to the beginning and what did Europa look like when you first started? The vision.
So we started back in 1992. I was quite a bit younger in those days. I was only 12 at the time, so it was my parents that started the gym off. We started originally in an old industrial building that really wasn't fit for purpose for gymnastics, but had a lot of different rooms and areas. So it kind of developed very quickly, not just gymnastics, but in additional areas where we had sports that couldn't necessarily get space in leisure centres. You sort of sports like your jiu-jitsus and your tai chis and you know, sometimes to some extent boxing and that sort of stuff. So it kind of evolved from there, but really the core of it was the fact that my mum and dad were very high level gymnastic coaches, very well respected in the gymnastic community, and they wanted to work for themselves, not work for anybody else. So their original vision was really just to do the best that they could by every child, whether that child be going in for 1 hour a week just to have a little bit of fun, or potentially taking kids right the way through to the top at Olympic level. So yeah, it's quite a journey we've been on.
And what were some of the key turning points that you felt really took Europa from kind of local to more of the nationally recognised brand that it is today?
Well, obviously moving from the old venue into this venue, so that was part of the Olympics in 2012. That had a massive impact on us, just being the friendly little club down the road to what the massive building that we are today, and the gymnastic level went up. But with that in mind, then when COVID came along, it did kind of change it from a business point of view. Instead of our focus really being on the elite side of the sport, which can hemorrhage your business somewhat, we did take a relook and a rethink, kind of reshuffled, and focus more on our recreational side of it, which has had a massive effect, a massive impact on the business side of it. So yeah, there's been quite a few little points that have changed it from the little club we were down the road to what it is now. But yeah, I'd say they were the two main factors.
And we were speaking before about obviously the size of the team behind the coaches and behind the gymnasts. How's that evolved for you as well?
Oh, it's grown immensely, hasn't it? We've now got 47 staff, 20 full time. So yeah, it's grown a hell of a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah,
since we first started out.
Back again at the old venue, there was only 6 of us that worked there full time. Everyone else was either volunteers or any bit of extra help we could get. But in coming here, it just grew so fast, so quickly that pre-COVID we actually were in the 80s, weren't we, with the amount of staff that we had?
Yeah.
But once COVID happened, we did obviously, like many businesses, had to do quite a few redundancies. But the ones that we did keep on, and anyone that we've brought in since, have been much more sort of core and more
and
full
time. They're multitasking as well. They multitask a lot.
Definitely.
People, someone do the website one day, next day doing the reception, that sort of thing. They sort of multitask.
Anyone that works
really
here has to multitask. You can't just have one job here. It is very much, you've got to get your hands dirty in whatever's thrown at you, really, isn't it? But yes.
And Chris, if you had to sum up your growth journey in just 3 words, what would they be?
I'd say challenging, rewarding, and also grounding to somewhat.
And you've mentioned about challenging. Obviously, you can hear from the journey that you guys have been on. What do you think have been the biggest operational hurdles that Europa have faced?
I think staffing to somewhat, really. It's getting the right staff in the right places, getting the right team in to sort of back you up, really.
And how have you guys approached kind of recruitment and obviously the retention of staff? Because that's a problem for gymnastics clubs everywhere.
Well, I think the staffing side of it, we've got a lot of our gymnastics coaches coming through the Young Leaders, what's it called?
The Young Leader Programme.
Yeah, the programme which BG run. It's like a Duke of Edinburgh award, so they come through that. There are a lot of youngsters. We now employ them full time. Our maintenance staff are a lot of family. A lot of our receptionists also been with us from day one, haven't they? Like Anne-Marie, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's very much a family.
So yeah, we sort of treat them like family, really. Like we're one big family. So we do a lot of stuff outside of work, like barbecues, social events, to sort of keep them engaged with us. So yeah, it's like one big family, really.
I hear that you're quite good on the barbecue.
I am indeed. I must say so myself. Yeah, I do love cooking.
The key to keeping all staff happy.
Yeah, keep them happy. Keep them well fed and well watered. Yeah, they keep them happy. So.
And you invest in their training as well. So that
we
that's
invest in the level 1 training, level 2, also BG courses we do.
All their welfare, their fire
marshalling stuff, anything to do with maintenance we do, like the going up on the genie hoist or the pat testing. That sort of thing. Yeah, we invest in a lot in our staff, really. And
that's keeping a lot away from the coaches as well, so they can focus on what they need to be doing.
100%, yeah. I mean, the coaches don't have to worry about anything other than actually coaching. They never have to answer questions about fees or if classes are being changed or this. The receptionists and the admin team deal with all of that. The coaches literally, if they're purely a coach, they literally turn up and just coach. Having said that, we thought it was really important that a couple of the coaches that are core staff are also on the admin team too. That way you've got that link. You don't have a defragmented coaches think this, reception think that, and we didn't want that. So we've got 3 or 4 staff that are back and forth between both parts of it. And then that way they're the ones that kind of can put the messages back and forth and give the information over to the coaches that they might not necessarily understand if they haven't got time to be sitting at computers and whatever to understand. For instance, when LoveAdmin came in and the systems that were changing, those core team that were in the admin team that also are our core coaches went on and taught the others what to do.
That's really nice. I bet the coaches really appreciate that as well.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
Facilities you have mentioned, they can make or break a member experience. I mean, your facilities here are amazing. What's kind of been key to that for you?
Well, we're now 13 years old in the building. I think our actual team are quite proactive. If they see a problem, they deal with it. If they've got a problem or a bit of paint needs doing, they just paint it there and then, rather than let it build up and
so
become an issue.
We was quite strong from the start that we wanted a maintenance team as part of the staff. Having come from the building that we was originally in that obviously needed constant work. My dad actually was the one that was very, very, very keen on having a maintenance team on staff. So we don't generally, as a rule, I don't actually remember the last time I had an engineer on site other than to do like a yearly check.
You might get the ones doing
a
gas check and electric checks, but yeah, we've got 2 sort of full-time maintenance staff. They're also on call with the weekends
and
if
yourself.
there's a problem arises. I'm also maintenance background myself as well, so I can deal with those problems.
So yeah, I don't remember the last time we had to actually have someone come and fix something.
No.
It would generally be one of the 3 of you that will
be it a toilet flush or a door handle was broken or
painting or whatever needs doing.
Yeah, we just get on with it.
So member management at scale can get complicated. What's helped you keep things running smoothly as the club has grown?
Well, obviously LoveAdmin now, and something that we wish we'd done quite a bit sooner. But the core of what we do, I have to thank the receptionists. The receptionists and the admin team that sit behind them are really the ones that have the bulk of the job in keeping that side of the business going and up to date, constantly dealing with the new children that are trying to get in on the waiting list, constantly dealing with catching fees, getting information out to parents. To be fair, I would say that quite often they actually have a harder job than the coaches themselves, because they have the bit that the people, the bit that the adult has to deal with, the parent has to deal with, which at times can be challenging. But yeah, they're a great team, and yeah, we'd struggle without them, to be honest.
And thank you for saying the kind words about LoveAdmin. I obviously didn't pay you to say that, promise. What prompted you to make the change from the systems that you previously had when you did decide to switch?
So we've had numerous systems over the years, and they've all been ones that we've bought off the shelf, which some of them did some things brilliantly but didn't have this. And my dad quite funnily always used to kind of compare it to when you got a new car. It'd always be something, you'd sit in that brand new car and then you'd sit there and you'd be like, oh, where's my cup holder, or where's that was what the systems were like. They'd always do something really well, but you'd find that you didn't have something that you actually really relied on. So when I was looking at changing to something new, the fact that from LoveAdmin's point of view it's all built around you and your club, that was amazing. And the fact that we can have an input on how you develop your system and vice versa, that was a no-brainer to me. That was the number one reason to move.
And what were the non-negotiables when you were looking for a new system?
100% online payments, because again, going back to COVID and the staffing, we had 9 to 10 receptionists at any one time pre-COVID. Since starting to do everything online, we're now down just to 4. 4.5. We don't have to necessarily have someone at the desk all the time. We do from the point of view of like our fire panel and that sort of stuff, but we try to keep the face-to-face part of it. And the fact that it's with little kids, we do like the fact that there's an adult checking them in, and it's not all done electronically. But the fact of the matter is, we don't have to pay 10 people to do a job now because of the fact that the system can do with a lot of it. And despite the fact that I have given them they're a massive part of the team, we couldn't do without them, they're still human. They are going to make mistakes. So the fact that these payments are going through online and the human error part of it is taken away, that's amazing.
And you've kind of already talked there about how having the right system in place has obviously saved you time and admin staff effectively. How do you feel like it's helping improve that member experience? Because we know members have always got very high expectations of clubs.
It's definitely better, and now that you've got the app going as well, that's only going to make it even better still. I think the fact with the push notifications, all that, anything you can do that puts something in someone's hand on their phone and alleviates the million emails or the phone calls and horrible sometimes interaction that you can have in the past because of lack of communication with a customer, that's amazing. That's it's going to only make things better.
And my final point, I guess, on the systems is, were there any goods or bads during the implementation?
I think for us the hardest point was the length of time it took for it to kick in, which was bit of both of all of us sort of getting it all together. But for me, the hardest part was actually Anne-Marie. So Anne-Marie is our head receptionist. She loves the system now and is over the moon with it, but is not good with change. So that took quite a while, and I think we were struggling a bit until we managed to do the link where James and the others came down to us and we actually got to spend the day. That was brilliant. So yeah, I'd definitely advise that in the future, because I think that it's all very well going back and forth on Zoom, but actually having someone in the room with you, going through the system with you, that was invaluable.
It's face to face. When they're face to face with you, you can chat to them, discuss things through, and it's rather than being on a Zoom call or
definitely
WhatsApp call, whatever.
Yeah, and I know that definitely put Anne-Marie and the other receptionists at ease.
So talking about James, we've talked in the past about revenue and James's impact. Gymnastics clubs often have the seasonal income dips going. What strategies have helped you kind of steady that and get that financial stability?
So in the sort of summertime, which was usually our sort of dip, wasn't it? A lot of big fall off in income. We sort of now do summer clubs, fun clubs, display days for the kids that know to come along, do like a little routine. They invent themselves back and go to their parents at the afternoon.
Lots of different things we can put on, which now, again, talking back to James again, so what James's idea was, coming to yourselves, because we can't afford to close, we're literally open all the time. We only close for public bank holidays or a named day, like Christmas Day, Boxing Day, whatever. But we used to, because we're open, we're obviously aware people are going to go away at some point in the year, so we used to offer them a 3-week holiday discount. So everything gets paid for in advance. As long as they were telling us when they were paying for, let's say, August in July, that they were going to have some time off, we would give them the discount, which was great most of the year until you got to June. And then when you got to June and they were taking the July discount, or you were in July and they were taking oh my God, it was awful.
Big hit, wasn't it? A lot.
So thanks to James said, why don't you just do makeup classes? Like, get them to pay for their space throughout the year no matter what, and offer them some makeup classes. So at first I was a bit like, I don't know, I just don't think they're going to be on board with it. I don't think that the parents are going to like it. But when we actually did it, we now offer them 5 makeup classes a year. We got 1 complaint. Out of 1,300 odd gymnasts, 1 complaint is amazing. And quite a lot of them are actually, oh my God, that's amazing. They're not going to miss a day. So from what we actually thought was going to be a bit of a nightmare to transition to, worked out brilliantly. And I have to be honest, it actually saved the business, because with everything going up, with electricity, our electricity bill is horrendous each month. Every month we were seeing these increases coming and just wasn't sure how long we could keep doing it for. But I have to thank James, because that one idea has literally, in the space of, our first lot of fees went through with yourselves, I think it was in November. We're in quite a comfortable position now where we're not having to worry about money coming through. And with this being the first summer, under that scheme, everything that Chris was mentioning before is, instead of filling a little bit of this massive hole that seemed to be created in July and August, is now actually a cherry on the top of the cake. So yeah, it's been a massive turnaround.
I'll have to let James know. He is a top strategic business manager.
He is indeed.
He has been fantastic.
Yeah. We can't thank him enough. He literally has pulled us out of a hole that we found ourselves in every year, and just couldn't find a way out of it. I think sometimes you're so in it, you don't see the bigger picture. And one comment, and that's changed everything. So
did he have to persuade you at all?
A little bit at first, because I think again, having kind of sort of inherited the business in the fact that my mum and dad aren't about so much anymore, we've just carried on doing it their way. They knew what was best for the gymnastics side, and they were very high level coaches. We'd come in on the business point of view, but that was kind of a gymnastic issue. So we kind of just carried on doing the same thing. And like I say, one comment from James, it did take me probably longer than anyone else to come around to it, and the receptionist, but actually it's really common sense when you look back at it, and it's kind of, why did we not do that sooner? So yeah.
And you've got a great business mind on your shoulders. How do you balance pricing with accessibility for the community?
This is a difficult one. I mean, we did always really try to keep our prices roughly the same as the other clubs around us, and the majority of the other clubs within our immediate vicinity are just sort of school halls and
part-time sort of
clubs, but obviously our facility way outweighs anything like that. And then of course with COVID and the credit crunch again, we kind of did try to just keep it at a level. And then we kind of had a look at ourselves in the mirror one day and was like, our facility is amazing and our coaches are doing a really good job, and with things like LoveAdmin in the background doing all that extra stuff, we should be charging more. And we kind of realised that we were really actually undervaluing our service and what we was providing for the children. So from the point of view, we are a CIC company, we are a community interest company, but we are probably at the top end of what would be charged for an hourly gymnastic class. But I think that what we do charge is very valid for the service that we give. So yeah, I think for quite a long time we did actually undervalue ourselves.
And did you find, because a lot of clubs are always worried about increasing prices because of kickback or people taking their kids away, did you find any of that happened?
Whenever you change anything, you're always going to obviously lose a couple of people, and of course we did lose a couple of people, but we have quite a big waiting list. The next ones came in, they were happy to pay it. You know, we have spent many years, haven't we, trying to put things to the lowest level, keep it at the lowest level, but you kind of have to sometimes take a step back and go, no, like, this is what it costs. This is what we're charging. If you can't afford it or you don't want to pay that, then we're not the club for you. There's a local club down the road that you can pop to.
And Chris, I've seen around the venue here. It is fantastic. Have you introduced any new income streams in the recent years?
So we've got upstairs our on-site cafe, which is 120 seats upstairs, which is packed out at night time from about 4 o'clock onwards. It's busy, can't get a seat upstairs. So we've got our own on-site cafe. We also do our own kit, which is at the front desk to buy. From January next year, it's got to be mandatory for the gymnast to wear the piece of Europa branded kit. We also do a lot of after-school classes.
All sorts of different things, haven't we, really? I mean, your kit has been quite a big one, to be fair. So go back to that, you undersell yourself with that.
Yes, I even do other clubs' kit from now as well. Also, we do like the boxing club, we do their kit. A lot of London stuff, a lot of London clubs come to me now as well.
So yeah, a lot of different things to bring that extra bit in.
I saw all of the kit hanging over the reception desk, including the ones with the sparkles on them as well.
The gems, we do them in-house. I'll do them all to order, do them in-house ourselves.
Who knew you were going to be getting into fashion when you came into this?
My own fashion brand soon.
Chris, how would you describe Europa's role in the local community?
Well, I'd say we're a big asset to the community, really. We do a lot of things, i.e. we do a lot of SEND sessions here and also at our venue in Crowside. We do a lot of stuff down there for the special educational needs children. We're also at the minute doing a lot of stuff for the elderly. We're getting into sort of bringing them into the SEND side in the daytime, have a little workout stretch in one of our studios and have a cup of coffee afterwards. We also, Rotary Club, we host the Youth Rotary Club once a week. They come in for a couple of hours, they get together.
Have their dinner, don't they?
Have their dinner, we supply at a decent discount price for them. They come, have a chat together, and then also organise stuff for Christmas for like local area. So we're involved in that.
Yeah, lots of different things, isn't it?
And you even do sleepovers here.
We do. We do.
How many
camps? And so we literally 2-3 weeks ago
we had 21 children for 2 nights.
Yeah, I have to. My hats off to the younger coaches who were here for the duration. We're kind of a little bit past the sleepy over bit now, but we're more than happy for them to do that. But the kids had an amazing time, and the feedback that we've had from it has been brilliant. The coaches did such a good job. And Chris got his barbecue out again. So
I had the barbecue on the Saturday night. I cooked my chicken wings up and sausages and burgers, and kids were happy, as were the adults.
Yeah, no,
that's the sort of thing that kids are going to remember for years, and for the parents as well. it's like their kids are doing something they love.
A little bit aside, and we obviously didn't discuss this before, but we actually had a gymnast last year who came to the camp, and then literally a matter of days afterwards was on her bike down the road and she got run over and she unfortunately did pass away a few days later. But her last thing that she did was our camp. So at the camp the other day, her parents came along and they gave out little medals to all the children. They are still very much part of our family, aren't they? So yeah, it's the fact that it had such an impact on them as a family, and the fact that they still returned this year was a massive thing. It's quite a big thing in the news at the moment. So yeah, it's that was very grounding, wasn't it? To be quite honest with you, that those parents came along and were still very much wanting to be part of the club, even though she's no longer with us. Bless her.
Oh, that's absolutely lovely. That's really, and that shows the kind of impact you have on a community that's even unexpected beyond what you would think. If you could give one piece of advice to clubs looking to grow right now, just the one, what would it be?
Well, I've got to say, it's the council. Get involved with the council, get on their side, get them on your side. Don't upset them. You've
got to make contact with the council. At some point, no matter what in your journey, you are going to need their help. Whether it be planning, whether it be funding, you are going to need them on your side. So do whatever you can not to get on the bad side of them, and do whatever you can to find a connection with the council and do whatever you can. Get involved with any local days that they have. Like we used to have the Bexley show, didn't we? You get involved with that. Try and do what you can to get involved with the council, because without a doubt, you're going to need them on your side at some point.
And is there anything that you wish you'd done sooner?
Come to LoveAdmin, obviously. I mean, it has made a massive difference, as I said earlier, especially with what James had done. But I think also looking back at the pricing, I think we should have done that.
Debating ourselves too much, I think.
Not being so critical of ourselves, and perhaps maybe realise what a good service we do provide. So.
And my final question: what's next? You guys are constantly growing and changing. What is next for Europa?
Our venue at Craysides is now up for
sale. It's just a rented venue for that one.
That might be something that we can maybe in the future get a new building out of, hopefully.
Yeah, an additional building, which we might sort of look at, not necessarily from the gymnastic point of view, but much more sort of the martial arts,
sort of
maybe free running,
the extreme sports like the block climbing, free running, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
If there's sort of, we can be involved from the start of it. We can sort of put our input into it, and
that's the wish. But of course, if that doesn't come off, the things that are currently happening down there will come back here, and we'll find another thing that we can work out. We've got a lot of space that we can fill.
I'm sure with the team behind you and what you've achieved so far, you'll manage that, and Chris will be extending his fashion into new sports in no time at all. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You very much.
It's been
Thanks,
really
Abby.
enjoyable. I love spending time with you guys. Good luck with the next phase.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.